Acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf says he's had enough of the lawlessness and riots in Portland, Oregon, telling Democrat Mayor Ted Wheeler he must prioritize public safety, or the feds will have no choice but to come in and protect the city. Here's part of a fiery letter that he wrote. Quote, "You have stood by passively, arguing that the nightly violence will ultimately burn itself out. The evidence demonstrates otherwise. The chaos, destruction, and suffering in Portland are evils you can stop and must stop." Joining us now, Ken Cuccinelli with DHS. Sir,
Yes.
What kind of federal intervention are we talking about here? Federal troops in full battle gear, or what?
No, not troops. But this is a law enforcement failure, and it's a law enforcement solution. So the first responsibility in these communities is state and local for policing, but we're seeing Portland intentionally not and willfully not police to the extent needed to stop the violence, and thus the Secretary's letter to Portland. We'd have to use extraordinary, unfortunately, federal authorities that we've avoided doing to this point. But as the President has made clear and the Secretary in his letter, all those options are on the table. And you compare it to Kenosha. We saw the formula for a quick stop to violence, and that was with a Democrat mayor and a Democrat governor. Partisanship shouldn't have anything to do with this. This is straight law enforcement. It's a simple solution, and Portland and Governor Brown refuse to implement it.
We just had a report that the mayor, Ted Wheeler, is moving out of his own house and going elsewhere because his neighborhood is under threat. Have you had a response from Mayor Wheeler to the letter sent from DHS threatening federal intervention?
Not yet. We have not yet. He's probably busy picking out real estate agents. But this is
sarcasm, Mr. Secretary.
Yes, well, that's my natural state of being. But it also was only sent recently, so he has a history of responding to these things. And look, reality is going to catch up at some point. They've got to start doing the right thing. You've got a governor who has over 7,800 National Guardsmen at her disposal. She hasn't used one of them. And even Mayor Wheeler asked Governor Brown to bring in the National Guard in June, but he comes out and defends violence and defends Antifa and the anarchists, even as they attack his own condominium complex.
There are reports that this is a well-funded operation, that there's somebody behind all of this. There's an organization behind all of this, that the rioters are being paid, the gear that they're using is being paid for. Are you close to finding out who is really behind this?
Well, I'm not prepared to say we're close. I will say there are hundreds of investigations running across the country, federal investigations running across the country that include those sorts of questions. And we also have, of course, legislators on Capitol Hill asking those sorts of questions as well. And as some of those committees start to look at this, they'll have a different set of authorities to bring to bear.
But hundreds of people have been arrested here.
They have.
Is anybody talking? I understand that one person was arrested in 3 different places.
Yes, and they draw special attention from us when they cross state lines. And that's been true in Portland, where you didn't have very many crossing state lines, but what you had was a lot of repeat offenders where you have a local DA who won't prosecute them. So we focus federal resources on that. Over half of the arrests in Kenosha, on the other hand, traveled from other places. When you cross state lines, you invoke other federal jurisdiction, and the opportunity for the federal government to prosecute you goes way, way up, and investigate how you got there, how did you fund it, and so forth. Sure. But because of the Fourth Amendment, we've got to respect the process, and we've got to have a certain level of evidence to begin using search warrants and doing those kinds of things to investigate the financing on the backside of this. And that's what we're doing.
Ken Cuccinelli, go to it, sir. Thanks for joining us this morning. See you again soon.
Glad to do it, Marty.
Yes, sir. Thank you.